Hey guys, Frank Cludia here, aka FCNZ. I'm here with a phone review today of the Samsung Galaxy S2. Um, this is the model that's retailed by Bell Mobility in Canada. It's the i9000M, which is exactly the same thing as the i9000. So it is the 1.2 gigahertz dual-core Exynos processor running this thing. So there's, as you might be aware, there's mainly two versions of the Galaxy S2. The other one sports the dual-core 1.5 gigahertz, which is clocked a little bit higher, but it is the Qualcomm chip, which has actually been proven to perform less than the Exynos. I think it's like a generation younger. Um, and that's probably what makes the difference. In terms of hardware, this phone, as you just saw, Super AMOLED 4.3 inch display. It is very thin, I must say. I guess I wish I had an iPhone here because everybody knows how thick an iPhone is, but I don't. I can't really. I mean, I've got a BlackBerry 9700 here, a Bold, which I mean, it's not the slimmest device ever, but it's actually pretty thin. It's not that thick, so I mean that just gives you an idea of the huge difference in between the two phones. It is thinner than the original Galaxy S. It is much lighter too. It is very, very light to hold. I have big hands, so it doesn't look that big in my hand. But I must warn you, it is a big phone. I'm 6'4", so you can imagine you know, and this is. I don't think I'd go any bigger than this. You know, I might be able to use a 4.5-inch device, especially if it's edge-to-edge screen. But I mean, anything higher than that would probably be cumbersome to use. The phone, as I said, dual-core 1.2 gigahertz processor. We have 1 gigabyte of RAM, in there, 16 gigs of internal storage, and there's a micro SD slot under the battery door, as well, of course, as a SIM card slot. And the battery, if I'm not mistaken, is a 1,750 milliamps. Don't quote me on that. But if you just want the straight up specs, you can always look online, and I'll probably put them in the description as well. The camera is an 8 megapixel, and this time around they've put a LED flash on it, which was one of my main issues with the Galaxy S, the first iteration. In terms of front camera, before I forget, 2 megapixel. It's decent. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do, which I guess is cam to cam chat, you know, in visual calling, I guess, video calls, should I say. Besides that, as you can see here, you have the same design as what was the Canadian Vibrant, and I think was the Fascinate or the Captivate in the US, with the Galaxy S, with the home screen physical key and 2 capacitive keys, one for the menu, one for the back key. So no dedicated search key, although spoil you guys a little bit already. If you long press the menu key, you get to the search. So it still works fine. As far as on the sides, you have the lock-unlock screen, as has been, I guess, the regular thing with Samsung these days. Same thing as the S1. This time they put the volume rocker on this side. I think it was on the other side on the Galaxy S. The Galaxy S used to have both the 3.5 and used to have a micro USB port right here. This time around they just put the 3.5 headphone jack in there, and they've put the micro USB at the bottom of the device next to one of the microphones. And yes, now Let's take a look at this. The screen, as I said, 4.3 inch, Super AMOLED Plus. It is gorgeous. If you've used the first generation Galaxies, the screen was amazing. I guess it's the only phone with true blacks. The blacks on this are amazing. I guess the Super AMOLED. I'm not that well versed into screen technologies, so I wouldn't be able to explain exactly how it works. But if I understand correctly, the pixel is completely shut off. So whenever you have black on these screens, it's actually pretty good on the battery, which is why right now I'm using. Well, I always use dark backgrounds because of that. For the means of this video, I've switched it to a very dark background so you could see better. Talking about backgrounds, I guess, since I'm talking about the screen quality, just go to the wallpapers that are included with it, just to show you guys how vibrant the colors are on the screen. The colors are absolutely gorgeous. And mind you, this phone is running at minimum brightness right now. If I put the brightness on top, the camera wouldn't be able to cope with it. But even then, I mean, even now, it's having a hard time. But it's just, look at this. The colors on this, absolutely gorgeous. It is by far the nicest screen on the market, in my opinion. Technically, people will say, you know, that it's non-pantile. There's differences with the one in the Galaxy S. I have to admit, there's been reports that the screen on the S2. You see more cases of faulty screens, and right now, as you can tell, I'm not using the default launcher it comes with, which is the new TouchWiz. I think it is TouchWiz 4, if I'm not mistaken. I'm running ADW launcher, which is a custom launcher. If you've never used an Android phone, basically you can customize pretty much anything on it, including the look, the entire user interface of the phone. So TouchWiz has a paginated app drawer like the iPhone, I guess you could say, whereas this uses a scroller, which is a little bit more akin to the I guess the original Android experience. I guess I'm going to show you guys. I was trying to think here. I forgot to mention the phone. The phone supports HSDPA Plus. It's 3G. So you can get all the way to 21 Mbps. Download speeds, it's not LTE, but to be honest, as far as mobile experiences go, I haven't had an issue with this. I've been streaming video on HSDPA. It's been streaming fine. Of course, it's going to get trickier if you want to stream HD quality, but if you're Canadian, or if you're aware of the Canadian cell phone market, the prices on data are so high here that it's nonsense to basically be watching TV on your phone, although I do it quite often. So let's go to the settings, which is where I wanted to go, and about phone, just to show you guys what it's running right now. So yeah, GT i9, I said i9000 earlier, i9100 should I say, that's true. It's running Android 2.3.5, because I am using a custom ROM on this, which is a KI1. Actually, it's not even a KI1. It's I can't remember. It's G something 3. I don't know all the baseband versions, but it displays the wrong thing. Basically, well, if you want to know what it is, SII v2.1.1, and I am running the latest Czech ROM, Revolution HD ROM, which is a pretty sweet combination. I guess what I'm going to do while I'm here, I'm actually going to show you TouchWiz, since that is what comes as the default look and feel of the phone. So let's go to TW Launcher. So here's TW. Still have that bar at the bottom. You can just click the different dots that represent your home screens. They have added something really nice actually. There's infinite scrolling because of the ROM that I'm using, but normally on TouchWiz you can't go any farther left in here, so if you want to go all the way to your 7 home screen, you either got to hit the right little button, and they are pretty small on the screen, or you have to scroll all the way. What they've done is they've added this. If you long press this anywhere, it turns into a scroll bar, and you can just scroll from screen to another. And as you can tell, that even with TouchWiz, there's absolutely no lag with this device. You've probably haven't noticed any lag since I've started this review. Same thing actually for the app drawer, and as you can see, I have plenty of apps. I'm running 7 pages of apps, so there's a lot of stuff running on the phone right now. I guess we could run, we'll run a benchmark on this. Right now I am on Wi-Fi only. I've shut down my, I'm on, you probably noticed on airplane mode, I've shut off my data and my phone connection. And let's go to, I'm glad they've kept this. They had this in the original Galaxy, where you long press the home key and you can go to Task Manager. We're going to exit all active applications. Actually going to go to RAM, and we're going to clear memory. I'm going to stay in TouchWiz actually. Oh wait, is it really that big? Let's just see the RAM here. 416. Okay, well now we're gonna go back to ADW actually, because it's not as big. I thought it'd be chunkier because I'm running a lot of widgets on my ADW, but apparently not. So memory, and wow, still running pretty high. Usually it goes down like the high 200s, low 300s. So I do have a lot of music on here for a phone. Let's go run a benchmark. You know what? We're going to try running a quadrant test, which is why I went to clear the memory actually. If you know anything about quadrant, the I/O test, it just ate the I/O test in like a second. I couldn't even see the fourth. And you know how it usually stalls on 3 on most Android phones if you run this benchmark a lot. This phone is blazing fast. It's absolutely amazing. And number-wise, it would seem to be less powerful than the 1.5s, but that processor just crunches so much data. It's amazing. So let's see how it does. Oh wow, it actually did pretty weak compared to most of the runs I've done. I ran a 5,158. I've actually went all the way to 6,000 with this. I've earlier when playing with the phone, I ran a 5,700. So just run it a second time actually. See how it does. I'd be very surprised if it didn't score higher. I mean, I once got a like 3,000 score because the phone decided to sync while I was running, or to do something while I was running Quadrant. But besides that, this phone has never scored lower than 5,000, which is quite amazing. I mean, less than a year ago, people were going crazy for scores of 3,000. You know, my friend has the G Slate, the LG phone, and he can barely run 3,000 with it. And that's a dual core. See, we just ran a 5,665. Not bad, not bad. The viewing angle, by the way, on this, pretty damn good. It's just Super AMOLED. It's freaking amazing. This is my daily driver. I have nothing bad to say about this phone so far. Besides the fact that it's so light, I'm so nice that it makes me terrified of dropping it. You won't see it without a case on very often. I really use it in an OtterBox because I want to protect this phone. I would not want to crack that pretty screen. So yeah, I guess yeah. One last thing actually that I want to show you guys is the browsing on the phone, because to be honest, if you're gonna upgrade to a dual core, you need to be doing a lot of browsing and a lot of playing with apps. Because if not, you just go with a single core. You'll have better battery life overall, and you'll get a fine experience for texting, for little games, for a few apps here and there. But if the real difference is browsing, I'm gonna go to a site here that you guys might know. I've searched for it, and I've actually opened it before. I don't know if well. That'll change the speed at which it loads, but that's not what I want to show you. That's besides the point. I mean, it does display really fast, and it did a little white flash there, but it isn't anymore. What I want to show you is this is a pretty big site. If you go to icefilms.info on your computer right now, you will find that it's a pretty heavy site. If you have like a shitty laptop, you might actually lag scrolling down on that site when it's loading the images. I opened this just earlier. And it was almost as fast to open the first time. It displayed all the pictures really quickly. As you can see, the pinch to zoom is absolutely amazing. Like, this thing will not lag whatsoever. And there's not just like 10, 20 JPEGs. There's hundreds of JPEGs on this page. I mean, and there's a Flash app running at the bottom. Now I click the link. Give me a second. Go back here. Just make sure that that app loads at the bottom, the Flash. Just make it harder on the phone. There you go. You got a Flash chat that is loading. It's actually working right now. I don't know why, but it's not the phone lagging. I mean, you can tell the phone isn't working. The load on the phone is very light. It's the same thing. The Flash is loaded. It's working right now, and it's just as smooth to go pinch to zoom. It's beautiful. I mean, using this, to steal a line from Apple, this changes everything. I mean, I've played with some dual cores, but the fact that you can't make this one lag, I mean, I'm sure you can. You can underclock it to 500 megahertz, and you can load a shit ton of apps and make that phone lag like crazy, just like you can do that with any computer. But I mean, in realistic, day-to-day use, you're not going to make this thing lag. There is no way. You're not going to run into anything that's going to make it lag, and that's probably going to hold for quite a few more months, possibly a year. Who knows what they're going to come up online. I haven't really experienced HTML5 with these phones yet. I don't know that many sites that use it. I'm sure I know a lot do, but I never stop to look. Hey, is this Flash or HTML5? I know YouTube does, but this being an Android phone, I've been under the assumption that it's going to load the mobile version. Yeah. Well, actually, let's go to the desktop version. I'm sure. I wonder if it'll load in Flash or in HTML5. I like these suggestions. I haven't been on here yet, so Justin Bieber is shuffling with LMFAO. Okay, let's open a 40-second clip, and no, let's use it. Let's watch it using the internet, not the YouTube app. So I don't know if this is Flash or if this is the HTML5 version. You people who care about this will know, I guess. But it's smooth. It's smooth as butter. I mean, my camera is not doing it justice because it is awfully smooth. Anyhow, so that's it for the review. I guess I didn't talk about the camera because it's not that big of a deal for me, and it does such a great job that I mean, I don't need a digital camera anymore. And I'm not talking about a webcam. I'm talking about like this. This will take, I mean, not professional quality, but for somebody like me who has a couple pictures of himself, and I don't have a million of pictures that I take. I'm not a camera person that much. So this does a fine job with me. I guess I will link to a few pictures that I took with the camera on this phone to give you guys an idea. But if you have any questions, any comments, anything, just leave a comment on the video. Feel free to subscribe. Actually, I would encourage you to subscribe. I will be doing more reviews. I'll be showing off. I have a Galaxy S that I haven't touched in months. And I'm going to show off the setup on it before I wipe it back to normal and sell the phone, since I now have this. Actually, the Galaxy wasn't my daily driver. Been using this as my daily driver. I'm really a keyboard guy. So yeah, I used to be a huge BlackBerry guy. And I still am in a way, but I mean, there's no denying that their devices currently aren't as attractive as the Androids are. I mean, I could show. I guess I'll do another video where I show some apps. I think there's some quite interesting apps on Android that people would gain from knowing. So yeah, that's it for the review. See you guys later.